All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. That's all praises to who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. The true names in the Hebrew is Yahweh for the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai for his beloved Son. So I want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and peace and mercy of Hopeful Lake, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord well with another video to edify. And one of the brothers in the camp sent this in the group feed. I wanted to make a little quick hit on this. And it is from Zero Hedge. It says Newsom CV19 equity plan. Vaccinate 2 million Latinos, or California won't reopen. So basically, over there in California, the people that are tired of not being able to go out, they're gonna look to you so-called Latinos, which are the Northern Kingdom, and they're gonna look at you like the reason why stuff's not open yet, if this stuff doesn't go through fast enough. But at the head of this is Esau's social engineering, because he's engineering a conflict, and he's making you a target. So as California Governor Gavin Newsom has completely changed his response to CV19 again. This time, leveraging reopening the state for all Californians on the back of low-income Latinos living in areas with the highest rates of illness. In the name of equity, Newsom announced Thursday that 40% of all the state's available vaccines will go to Latino communities in the Central Valley and in pockets of LA, because Latinos have suffered the most death and illness from CV. Now, that's a simple-minded Jake will look at this and say, you know what? They're taking note that we need help, but for you to be in that mindset, you wouldn't be really calling on the past. What do they say? You got to know your history so it doesn't repeat itself. So what has the history shown you? Time and time again, that these devils are not for your benefit, even though they go about acting like they are. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and start at 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So this devil is your enemy. When you think about an enemy will do anything to you for a fleeting thought. The so-called Latino tribes, your Cubans, your Mexicans, your so-called Cubans, Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, so-called Puerto Ricans, all of them. Look at the history that this devil's had on you. Look at all the coups in South America where they put in they created all those cartel down there. And now look at the troubles that you have in those countries. It says verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, and this is obviously a humbling himself. And the reason why this is insincere, because the scripture says, oh, Jerusalem. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, Jeremiah 15:5, the water Yahweh Shai says, for who shall pity thee, O Jerusalem, or who shall bemoan thee, or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? You see? No nation is going to do that, because the Lord didn't set it up that way. It says, thou hast forsaken me, say, how thou art gone backwards, therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee, and I will destroy thee, and I am weary with repenting. So the Lord set it up to where nobody was going to ask exactly how you're doing. Nobody was going to care what was happening to you. So when this devil goes about doing it, it's an insincere thing. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. You see, in that moment where this devil starts to act like he's sincere and he wants the best for you, those are the moments where you got to look like, man, when he's about to do something. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou didst wipe a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. So when you see this stuff happen, you're gonna know, when you beware of this man, that you know what, he's still the same guy as he always was. It says, verse 12. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he overthrow thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. You see? So you're gonna know, if you beware of this man, that if he even gets a chance to be by you, he's going to do something to overthrow you. And this is exactly what it is. This is a coordinated, passive attack. Because ultimately, what it's going to do, and look, they got Cesare getting shot up in the arm. So that, hey, you trusting this devil is going to be your downfall. It says, I'm going to read a little more in the article. It says, and there's a catch until the Latinos in these areas take the vaccine in higher numbers, California will stay locked down. State Health and Human Service Director, Dr. Mark Galley, said once the shots are in the arms, the state can reopen. As we achieve higher levels of vaccines in the hardest hit communities, we feel more confident that more and more activities across the state can occur, he said in a briefing Thursday. So basically what is happening is they're sitting there making you the reason why they can't open, which is what is going to bring hostility towards a lot of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because they're going to make this a sweeping criteria, and the ones that don't take it, they're going to make you an evil villain in these places. So let me get some more precepts and I'll close this out. I didn't want to make this too long. This is Psalms 37. And 12, it says, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. And this is how the wicked is plotting against the just, because here it is, you won't let the whole state open because the ones that have a reason not to trust you don't trust you. It says, Yahweh shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. And the Lord sees that your day is coming, and so do the men of the Lord, man. All this old hunky-tunk bullshit that you've been pulling, setting up these unrighteous decrees, and we're going to get that. You making it so that, we're the reason why the state's not open. We're the reason why stuff is still locked down. No, you devils are the reason. It says, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their swords shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So the Lord is going to confound you devils, man. This is Ecclesiasticus 13. And I'll start at 20. It says, as the proud hateth humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. So why would you think these rich ass Edomites are going to be looking for you Israelites a security, man? You telling me that these devils know that you're in a low economic community, but now they want to take note of it when there's an illness going around? Why the hell would they take a note of you now? While you were struggling, selling drugs to your fucking grandmothers and shit, as a customer some niggas in the world are. They didn't give a fuck about your economic situation and the fact that it was destroying you. But now they got to care about you being in a low economic community and being the hardest hit by the current pandemic. You got to be kidding me, man. They got that old saying, you can piss on my head, but don't call it rain, man. This is Proverbs 4 in 14. It says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. And this is the path of the wicked. If the Israelites that go out and get this bullshit, watch how you feel afterwards. Watch how the Lord plagues you with sickness. It says, avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. You see? So when these devils start offering this, hey, you don't be the one to go up there. You let all the other ones. It says the blind lead the blind. Both of them are going to fall into this. You let the blind lead themselves. It says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief. And this is going into the wicked. So this devil, here it is. They even told you in a meeting. Let me see if I could find the part I was reading earlier. Because I was reading it and it said, here it is. Here it is. It says state lawmaker Lorena Gonzalez, the woman who's responsible for AB 5, which largely killed the freelance worker economy in California on behalf of her union pals, wondered how the change in the plan would affect the governor's previously announced plan to get teachers in the classroom. The changes announced Wednesday are kind of not fair. To those who negotiated the deal, Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez said, if you're going to change the tiers and suddenly everyone is in the red tier, that changes the classes that have to be open, the number of classes, and testing cadences. The San Diego Democrat said Thursday, just before a legislator voted the bill. So if you get calls from teachers unions a little upset, you have no right to be upset. You don't negotiate a deal and change the parameters of that deal on the day we are voting on it. So this is what the devil did. So right when the morning came, he came with his changes. It says, for they sleep not, Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away from them unless they cause them to fall. And right when his devil came up with them changes, that's when he was like, this is it. It says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And this is exactly how the devils do. This is a wicked decree. This is an evil, unrighteous decree. And it's all to put spotlights on you Israelites, man. This is Isaiah 10:1. And I'll end it on this. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteousness. So Salaki, woe unto them that decree unrighteousness. Salaki, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And this is an unrighteous decree, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right of the poor. Right? It's the poor's right to sit here and take this devil's jabs if they want or not. But you're making a criteria. Mind you, a lot of them are in their hoods right now facing eviction. And this is the only way they can get back to being able to work. This is an unrighteous decree. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right of the poor from my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And what will you do in the day of visitation, in the day of desolation, which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? So at the end of the day, man, this devil's doing all this, but the Lord is going to respond, man. The Lord is about to put out a deafening response. So Lord willing, this is edifying. Hey, watch out for these devils, man. This is the time of Jacob's trouble. He's making you an offender. He's making all the tribes an offender. He's setting up the categories, man, the accuser of our brethren. Shalom.